believed in. With a camera and grit, I'm setting things right, shining a light on America's plight. Deadwood Dick's dastardly den, my friend, where patriots fight till the bitter end. Back of hearts burning, we're taking a stand for truth and justice across this land.
And fuck us all anyway, for the limber dick cocksuckers we are.
Welcome to fucking Deadwood. Can be combatant. Oh.
Hi there. I've been seeing a lot of these videos. Not necessarily videos, it's mostly news clips. CNN, MSNBC. And it seems like all these liberals just can't figure out why the Democrats caved on the shutdown. And I'm here to tell you my opinion on why that happened.
Today marks day 41 of the government shutdown. But after nearly 6 weeks, lawmakers finally took the first step to ending the stalemate yesterday, after a number of Senate Democrats backed a Republican funding bill to reopen the government until the end of January. In a 60-40 vote, a group of moderate Democrats broke from their party and voted with Republicans on legislation that funds the government and holds a later vote on extending Affordable Care Act tax credits that expire January 1st. If it sounds familiar, it's because it's what Senate Majority Leader Thune floated to me just 3 weeks ago, how it could end. Anyway, this deal includes a mini package of appropriations bills that funds military construction, Veterans Affairs, the Department of Agriculture, and the legislative branch, as well as a stopgap funding measure that ensures the full government remains open until at least the end of January of next year. The bill also includes language to undo federal layoffs imposed by the Trump administration during the shutdown, which began, of course, on October 1st. This agreement does not, though, guarantee health care subsidies will be extended, as Democrats have demanded for the entirety of this shutdown. And that's angered many of them, who say Americans want them to continue to fight for something substantial. Some of the senators that voted with Republicans, though, spoke out about their decision last night.
We were in a situation where SNAP recipients were suffering, and there was no guarantee we would ever get to an ACA solution. Now we've got robust SNAP funding and a guaranteed vote, not a guaranteed outcome, but a guaranteed vote on ACA tax credits.
I understand that not all of my Democratic colleagues are satisfied with this agreement, but waiting another week or another month wouldn't deliver a better outcome. It would only mean more harm for families in New Hampshire and all across the country.
The sum is we are closer to the possibility of work on the ACA tax credits for the people of this country than we were yesterday and than we were a week ago, 2 weeks ago, or a month ago. So this agreement tonight is a win for the American people.
So first, I want to give people a sense of the mix of Democrats who came down for this vote, because most of them, they're retiring or they're for re-election. So politically, the stakes are not high for them. But Isaac, I want to start because the red flag to me was Dick Durbin. He's number 2, Senate Democrat. He's not going to get involved in this unless leadership in general is like, okay, now it's time.
Well, I mean, maybe. He's retiring himself. He's done next year. And he is the number 2, voted for the deal. But Chuck Schumer and Brian Schatz, who is seen as the leader in waiting, voted against it.
Yeah, but don't they have to? I mean, they're on shaky ground with the progressives in the party.
I mean, they both voted for the deal that was made with Trump in the spring. So it is a little unclear what happened there. I do think what you see here going on is something that has been happening within the Democratic Party for these 9+ months of the Trump presidency, which is that there is a divide in the Democratic Party, not over age or ideology. We sometimes talk about that progressives from that's not what is going on. It is a divide between people who see this as needing to fight
Yes.
and having a posture of fighting and fighting Trump and fighting for something, and those who basically are approaching this as we need to figure out a way through this, negotiate business as usual, whether it's an emergency situation or not. And that is what is playing out here again.
The axis of compromise.
You notice, to start with, that about all of these Democrats that caved, other than Fetterman, nobody really knows of. They don't have a name that's out there for everybody, like AOC or Ilhan Omar or fucking, They're not famous Congress people. Or they're retiring. Or they're not seeking re-election. In my opinion, the way this come out is about a week before they caved. Trump started pushing Mike Johnson to end the filibuster. He wants to end the filibuster so that they can have free rein to pass any of the bills they want to pass without the 60% that they need right now. When he started talking about that, old Chuck Schumer's brain started doing the whackety whack. And they don't want Trump to end the filibuster. They want to be the ones to end the filibuster. See, and they need the power before they can do that. They need the presidency. They need the Congress, or the Senate, and the House before they can do that. Well, chances ain't real good that they're going to get that. But they sure don't want Trump to utilize shutting down the filibuster to be able to do all the things he wants to do. So what they figured, they probably went into a back room somewhere and they picked out, along with Fetterman, 7 more virtually unknowns in the Democrat Party that really ain't going to be held accountable or with their feet to the fire, and it's not going to give any of the the famous ones, put it that way, a bad name. And they figure that if they end the government shutdown with these few unknowns, maybe Trump will quit talking about ending the filibuster. And that'll be held over until they can regain power and do all what they want to do. Because we've already known, they've already said what they want to do. They want to add Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. as states to give them more power in the House and the Senate. They want to add 5 more seats to the Supreme Court, take it to 14 instead of 9, and they get to pick, as long as they're in power, their president gets to pick who those people are. So that gives them a leg up in the Supreme Court. It gives them a leg up in the Senate and the House. See? But they don't want to come out and say that anymore. But they would be the ones to end the filibuster if Trump don't do it. And they just want Trump to shut up about ending the filibuster. Easiest way to do that is to pick some unknown senators to go ahead and stop the government shutdown and get this out of the way and get that filibuster ending off Trump's mind so that maybe it won't come up again. But that's just my thoughts. That's just my opinion. I just don't see anybody talking about it. And, it seems funny to me that all of the MSNBC and CNN and, those Democrats, liberal media, don't seem to have a clue why the Democrats caved. I think it was all a plan. I think there was a reason for the plan that I just laid out to you. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Have a nice day. Like, share, and subscribe. Buy me a coffee if you feel like it. Take care.